As a company, we've always been committed to paying our team members based upon the value that they've provided to the organization based on their skills, their experience, and also their future potential to continue contributing to Seer. So prior to compensation strategy being launched at Seer, compensation was managed at the director level. Division directors may not have managed compensation at the same cadence, reviewed raises at the exact same time for all team members. Additionally, division directors may not have used the same criteria or same process to review a team member who may be eligible for a promotion. So what that created was a lack of transparency and confusion from a team member perspective. Getting buy-in from the leadership team was really easy. They were completely on board. It was something that I think, based upon the data, was obvious that fit our DNA and was something that was really, really important to the team as well. After leadership team was like, okay, this is a go, we're on board, let's do this, I was probably equal parts excited and terrified. I knew it was something that was really important. I was super excited to begin, but I was also just like, oh my gosh, where do I start, and what if this fails? And I also knew that upon initial launch, I wasn't going to be able to answer all of the questions that people had. So just from like a finished product standpoint, I wasn't going to be like, here it is, guys, like in this nice little package with a bow, being completely finished. And the perfectionist in me cringed at that, and I knew that in advance of starting this, that I wasn't going to have that. I wasn't going to have that completed. As I began thinking about, it's go time now, let's get this rolled out, I took a step back and thought about what are all of the options here. First is to simply go out and hire a firm to do this for you. Go to KPMG, go to some other big firm that does this all of the time. They're gonna spend a lot of money on it, but they'll turn something around in a couple months. That's really good. Another option is to use a tool, a paid version of a tool like PayScale. You get an account manager and you're able to go through this whole process with someone else, getting access to a little bit of different data than what the free version provides. And the last option is doing exactly what I did and doing it yourself, pulling compensation information from a source that is free online that anybody has access to. The primary reason why I chose to go with the DIY version, transparency is absolutely huge. I really wanted to empower the team versus say, oh, I have access to a separate bank of salary data that you don't have access to. Just trust me, this is really what the competitive data says. So from a methodology standpoint, I first started with kind of corralling all of the roles that we had at Seer. Then defining our industry competitive set. So in terms of who we were going to compete with from a compensation standpoint, size of our company, if we're publicly or privately held, details like that. I then shopped the information from the tool that I had selected, which was PayScale. What PayScale spit back out then for every single role at Seer was a range from, I believe it was the 10th or 25th percentile up until the 90th percentile for each role. And then from there, I created role ranges for every single role at Seer. What I really liked about PayScale is that I was able to not just shop title, which is what I found with most of the other tools out there. What Seer may call an SEO associate may differ from what the industry is calling that person, or what that person may be called in-house. So I didn't feel comfortable just completely shopping all of our roles based on title. So what I did prior to launching to the company, I selected 3 different pilot groups that are very comfortable sharing direct feedback, because I wanted people to be super critical before I actually shared this out from a company perspective. I shared that deck out to the company following my launch and my presentation. I also provided the team several worksheets so that they understood the methodology that I follow, essentially empowering them to go and rerun these numbers. So current state of affairs now, every team member understands that minimally at least once a year they're eligible for a compensation review with their division director. They understand what their earning potential is. As of now, I'm working on rolling out phase 2, which is integrating and calibrating performance with compensation. So now that compensation strategy is officially launched, I definitely feel somewhat relieved, but the work is far from over. So this is something that we're going to be repeating, but now that we have that defined, it's going to be more kind of rinse and repeat every single year to ensure that ranges adjust with how the market changes and things like that. So there's certainly more work to be done moving forward. So I collected data prior to launch. I surveyed the team and I said, how many people here understand why they're paid what they're paid, when they're eligible for a raise, and understand how we make compensation decisions at the company? 91% of the team wasn't sure of how compensation was managed. Post-launch, 95 or 97% of the team understands now moving forward how compensation is managed at Seer, which I think is a huge win. That said, I'm not blind to the fact that just because someone understands means they agree, but I'm also okay with that. I know that this isn't going to make 100% of the company happy, but it's transparent, and it's honest, and it's fair, and competitive, and we have the data to show that. I'm happy, I'm relieved, I'm really, really proud of the work that I've done, and with of course the support and help of so many people, leadership and team members here as well. Looking forward to putting in additional work and effort with phase 2. It's going to be a really important and good part of the process.